What's shaking, nerds? Welcome back to another video, and today we got the Russian podcast that Nikita was on translated to English. I watched the whole thing and we got so much good information, but the biggest one is what map's getting a rework. Well, you'll find out in this video, so stick around. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy. So before we go any further, I do want to let you guys know that I wouldn't be able to put out this content without the man himself, Sneaky Roo 007, aka Sneaky Russian. If you don't know this gentleman, he is an amazing content creator. He does a lot of Twitch, he does a lot of YouTube, and you should be checking him out because he's a godsend. We wouldn't be able to have all this information without him. So if there's ever a Russian podcast coming up, you can for sure find him live translating it. Even if he's not translating a podcast, you still got to go check him out. He's a great guy. And also he does so much work for this EFT community. He deserves your love. So please, again, go check him out on either Twitch or on YouTube. So I watched the whole 3-hour podcast. I jotted down a bunch of notes that I think everyone in the community is going to be super interested in. I might give my 2 cents here or there for sure, but most of the time I'm just going to tell you the plain old information that came from the podcast. The first thing we're going to talk about is blood loss, because now there's not just going to be normal blood loss like we have now. You know, you fix it with an I factor Solua and it goes away, you're done with it. Now there's going to be something called heavy blood loss, and this does make sense because if you follow their Instagram or even their Twitter, they do show a lot of item models that are coming out in the game, and one of them was this X-Stat Injectable Hemostatic device. It's an odd looking thing. It kind of looks like a giant syringe with pills in it. But this is what is going to stop the heavy blood loss. They did also say that this item is going to have a 3 times use to it, so it's not just going to be you have to buy one over and over again. So that's a good thing. And you know, I'll throw my 2 cents in here. I think it is going to be a 2x1 item, at most a 2x1, you know, and maybe a 1x1, but most likely a 2x1. He also said he's really interested in how the psychological effect from the pain and how players are going to deal with that. So I'm not quite sure what they mean by that, but I'm sure what's going to happen is if you get one of these heavy blood losses, you know, your screen's going to go all fuzzy and wonky and whatnot until you patch it up or something like that. I'm not sure, but he just said there is a psychological effect from it, so I am really interested in that. I'm also interested if these Zagastines or however you say them, I don't know how you say them, but they're the purple injectors that no one really uses right now. I'm interested in if these are going to become more rare. I was super wrong about my guess with the injectors from the new boss. I told you guys that I thought right away these injectors were going to be like 500,000 to 1 million rubles each because they're so powerful. I was super wrong. Those things were like dirt cheap from pretty much day one. But you know, with these purple injectors, they do stop blood loss, so maybe they will stop you from having a heavy bleed when you're in an intense gunfight, so they might shoot up in price. I'm just saying, if you have a few rubles lying around, it wouldn't hurt to buy maybe 3 or 4 of them in case, you know, they do skyrocket on the flea market. So I'm just going to start talking about what I have in my notes. There's no rhyme or reason on why I'm talking about these things at a certain time. It's just the way it came up in the podcast. So the next thing is the compass. It is coming with 12.8. This is going to be a godsend for newer players. I know this isn't a huge feature for the veterans, but when it comes to new players and knowing their way around the map, at least when they have the map on their second monitor, they can at least know what direction they have to go into. You know, I'm super happy for this. I think this is some quality of life for the beginners that is going to make everyone's experience a little bit better. Also, they are still working from home, and it still does make things a lot more difficult. He did tell us. One other thing I was really curious about, and I never have gotten an answer about this, is how big their team is. So he did confirm that right now they have 115 people on the official BSG team, and they also have an extra 30 people that are outsourced. This next part I know is going to make people mad, and it's going to lead to a lot of shitty comments on this video, but this is what he did say. There are fail-safes in this game for cheaters. A lot of times, though, they aren't currently banning the cheaters right away. They're trying to learn from them. Right now, they're trying to see what they're doing and where they're going. That's why you might die from the same person over and over again that you know is cheating, but they haven't been banned yet. I know there's nothing worse than you going into a raid, you getting some loot, you get brought in some really good gear, and then you dying to a cheater. That's the worst feeling in Tarkov for sure. But just know that if they didn't ban that guy that you are suspecting of cheating, it might be for a good cause and to make the game better in the future. Trying to stay positive, guys. That's all this is about in EFT right now, because I really, here's my 2 cents. Right now, the EFT community is really split. Let's just try to band together, stay positive, because we love this game so much. On a positive note though, they are going to be adding a 2-factor authentication through your phone number, and it is going to be mandatory in certain regions. And what's going to happen is, say Canada is not mandatory, you don't have to do this, but if they find that a lot of cheaters are in Canada right now, they're going to make it so it's mandatory. And I know there's ways to spoof this or get around it, but it's just another hurdle that the cheaters are going to have to go through. Is this going to get rid of cheaters? Not at all. Is this going to get rid of some? For sure. Maybe someone doesn't know how to do this. Maybe they're too lazy, but it's just another hurdle, and I'm all for that. Earlier, I was talking about how the community is so divided, and that is because of a Reddit post earlier in this week. It was talking about how we should make Tarkov hardcore again, and one of the suggestions was getting rid of the flea market, and it just blew up, turned into this toxic post. I was reading it. I was disgusted at how people were trying to get their ideas through, and instead of just like having a discussion and saying, you know what, no, I don't like this, or A, B, and C is the reason I want it, or A, B, and C is the reason I don't want it, it just became name calling and bashing, and it really sucked, and you got to see a really ugly side of Tarkov. But Nikita did respond to this. So Nikita was actually really heated apparently while he was talking about this. He was actually calling out the community managers, saying he is hearing about all these problems himself and not from them. He says the community managers should be the mirror of the community. It seems like there are problems and he shouldn't be finding out about these problems himself on Reddit. And I get that. Later on he did apologize. He wanted to make sure he's not mad at specific community managers or anything like that, but I'm sure he just didn't know about the concerns that are happening in the community at the moment. And to find out about them on Reddit with all this name calling and this anger on every side of it, it was probably really devastating to him, and it probably definitely ruined his week and stressed him out. But they are having a discussion about it right now. So right now they are talking about drastic changes on the flea market, and they're even talking about drastic changes with the secure container, but that's all this is at this moment. There's no plans for this. All this is a discussion at this time being, and they're going to look into the future of what they're going to do. One of the streamers did ask them if they are going to be switching to the new Unity engine anytime soon, and Nikita did tell them that they are missing some tools at the moment to make the Unity engine switch, and it would make their lives a lot easier. So until they can get these tools, they can't even talk about switching over to the new engine. Some really bad news we did get on this podcast was they do want to get patch 0.13 out with the custom rigs and armor that's going to come with it, Streets of Tarkov, a whole bunch of other little things too, but they aren't sure if that's going to be happening now. It's just been really tough for them from working from home that he just doesn't know if they're going to meet that deadline. This is awful news for everyone. We're all excited for a new map for those custom rigs, but we might have to wait a little bit longer and just wait until 2021 now. They also reduced the spawn chance of the grenade launcher to 0, so go out and buy one now. And actually, when they were recording this, Sneaky Russian mentioned, oh, there's no more on the flea market like 10 minutes after he said this. So in patch 12.8, they're going to make changes to the grenade launcher and the ammo itself, but right now you cannot find it at all in the wild. Also, a lot of work is getting put into network testing at the moment on custom servers. So, they are working on desync. Don't think that they don't know about that, so you don't have to put it on every Twitter post when they just tweet a post about something random and you just go talk about desync. They know desync's an issue, and they are working on it at the moment. They're also been working on the gun builds bug. So if you've been trying to build guns lately with presets and there's been a whole bunch of bugs, because I know I deal with it every day, It's kind of annoying. That's going to be patched in 12.8, so don't worry, that will be fixed. Also, someone did ask him about the wipe date, of course. Everyone always wants to know that, and he just says he has no answer. Daily quests did get brought up also, asking if it's ever going to be coming to the game, and Nikita said there will be a bunch of new quests and daily quests. They've been working on them for a while, and they've also been working on reworking the older quest and getting those worked on too, and we even may see daily quests in 12.9. One of the people on the panel did ask Nikita if they plan to expand the PvE aspects of the game, like almost like an offline party raid thing, and Nikita said that is something they have in their plans now. There is no time frame for it, but I think this would be really cool for you and, you know, again, a new buddy or something to show them the ropes. You can both go offline and just kill some scavs, and you can show them some high value places. This is great. Anything that'll help new players, I think, is welcome in this game. He also let us know that the least played map is Nighttime Factory, and he let this slip. I don't know if he meant to let this slip, because he said later, oops, I say that out loud. There is better loot on scavs at nighttime. This would be a really interesting experiment to do, and I might actually do it. But yeah, if you are looking for more high value loot on scavs, just play night, because apparently they're more buttered out. A lot of people have wanted some double barrel shotguns and revolvers added to the game, and I'm pretty sure we even saw some assets for it. And they said they are coming, but they keep getting pushed back because there are new mechanics that are supposed to come with them. And at this moment, with how things are going with working from home and whatnot, they just have to keep pushing it back and back and back. The big news though that everyone has been talking about is that before Streets of Tarkov comes out, they are going to be reworking one of the current maps, just like they did to Interchange and Customs. So they talked about, yes, one map is getting reworked, and a lot of people were guessing Factory, but they announced the map today, and the map it's Woods. I'm actually really excited. I'm really happy. I think Woods is a great map, but there's not much to do there, but it's a great idea of a map, more long range, more snipe possibilities on there. And what they did say was, let me read it here, they're going to be expanding it and reworking it so it's 1.5 to 2 times bigger. That's awesome. That's like pretty much getting a brand new map in my eyes, you know, mostly because no one really plays Woods that often, so it will be like a brand new map for a lot of players, because the only times a lot of people go there is when they have to do a quest and then they're like, yeah, I'm done with this. They are going to be expanding it so it goes towards the paid extraction. So if you know where the SUV is, you know, right near where the sniper scav spawns, it's going to be expanded that way. And they also let us know that Factory is going to be reworked and expanded, but that's going to come later on. That's a lot of information. That's a lot of exciting information. I'm really happy that we did get some answers on some things, but here's the thing, this Thursday coming up is going to be another podcast, but an English one, and he's going to be showing a ton of new stuff. So he is going to be showing the compass, he is going to show the heavy blood loss, and you know, a whole bunch of other things apparently, and probably get some more answers about the flea market thing that everyone's debating about. Also, if you are one of those people that are on Reddit, or you're discussing this with, you know, a streamer or whatnot, don't just call names and accuse people and get angry at them. Try to stay positive, try to see it from both sides, try to, you know, give your point and let them counterpoint, or, you know, say, oh, you know, that's an interesting idea, and have a discussion instead of an argument. That's all I really do want to get across. Let's discuss things instead of arguing things. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please think about subscribing. It is free for you guys, but it does mean the world to me. Also, I do stream 5 days a week on twitch.tv, and you can come by, say hello, but until next time, I'll just talk to everyone later.